Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and I'm in War Thunder, and the new patch 1.7 something 0 has dropped, and they added not one, not two, but three new maps. This being the Normandy map, which looks absolutely spectacular. Checking out one of the bunkers there. Loaded in with my M4A2. Now, if you take a look at the map, you'll see that most of this map is big green fields up in the south. The concentration of what the fighting happens is in a kind of a hillocky kind of town area. This area down and below on the F line is elevated, so you got tanks shooting down at you from there, so you gotta be careful about that. But in and around town, you can see that the buildings are all brand new, they're all beat up and half destroyed, and they look fantastic. If you look to the right, you can see that there's a beach. And it's not just a flat beach. If you look at the beach that they have in World of Tanks, it's kind of flat and featureless. This beach is a little bit more up and down. There's more ridge lines, and you definitely get stuck in it a lot more because you got the ruts that your tanks create that you have to deal with. And it's pretty. It's one of the best looking maps that I've seen. Definitely hands down. It's a lot more like the Eastern European map, or like the Poland map, but you have three different distinct play styles. You've got like the corner fighting in the city, and then you've got the fighting with the ridge lines kind of in the beach, and then in the hills you've got where you can go if you want to just sit around and snipe at people and things. You see that there's a lot of burned out tanks. You got to try and figure out which tank is a dead tank, which is an environment tank, and some of the it's hard to tell where some of the collision volumes are. Like, I think maybe I can hit this guy, so I'm going to shoot. I don't think the collision volumes are probably tight enough on these things to really allow you to do these kind of weirdo shots that I was trying to take there. So I'm putting some shots into that M4. But just in general, the map is really, really well done. The other two maps that they ended up putting out, one is like a German village, which I haven't been able to play on yet. I managed to get like every other map and only playing Normandy once in a bunch of games I played last night. And the German map is pretty cool. It's like a small town with like forests around the outsides and stuff, but the buildings are more spread out, and it's not like this. This is a lot more densely compact when you're in the city type area. The other map that they put in is like a completely city map, it looks like, and it's like the fall of Berlin pretty much. And that one is like a full downtown of Berlin, and it just looks amazing. Like, I guarantee you, like, you'll be pretty impressed with it if you take a look at it. As soon as I get to actually play on it, I'll show you, but since I can't actually just load in any map and go and preview them and drive around, I can't really do that for you guys quite yet. But I think it's got this thing called the Rheinstock, which, if I'm even saying it right, was like a really big building for the German high command in the war, as far as I know, but I could be completely wrong. It looks really, really good. Lots of ridge lines, everything's burned out. It looks like a kind of a more beat up version of Stalingrad. Everything is burnt and bashed and pummeled into the ground. And if you look to the right here on this map, you can see that there's bunkers, there's ridge lines, there's like sandbags, there's rocks, and I'm getting bogged down in this terrain a little bit. You can see I'm kind of chewing the ground up as I go through. And there's a lot of stuff to hide behind. You can really go on the beach and not feel like, oh, I'm in the open and I'm stuck. But you do give up the high ground if you do go on the beach. It's a good flanking maneuver, but you probably want to do it in something fairly quick, because I'm going to get a little bit stuck when I went down here, and I couldn't really get out because there was guys blocking my exits and everything, so I thought maybe I could get some shots into him. Wasn't going to happen. Some of the other cool stuff that rolled out in this patch that I'll be doing videos on a little bit later. There was... I'm going to put a shot on that guy, and don't actually get to kill him though. There was a bunch of American tank destroyers added to the game. So you'll see if you load into the tech trees and stuff that they have tanks for the M10 Wolverine, which seems pretty good. I had one, I was fighting with one the other day, and he rolled around the back of an IS and took him out after I hit him once with my KV-85. So it's got a decent enough gun to pen an IS, which is nice. The next tank along the line down there is the Hellcat, and there's also a premium model Hellcat as well. And there's also a premium model Canadian M5 Stuart, which is pretty cool. M5A1, I think it is. And then after the Hellcat, which comes with a 76mm gun, the M10 also has a 76mm gun. I think the one on the Hellcat is more of a high-velocity gun, however. But I think they both have pretty decent guns. The Hellcat's also astonishingly fast. I had trouble even keeping one in sight because it just burned away from me at the beginning of one of those matches, and it looked pretty cool. And then the next one on from the Hellcat is the M36 Slugger, or the Jackson, what do you want to call it? And it's got a 90mm gun, similar to the one I think they have in the Pershing. I'm not entirely sure about that, but I'm fairly sure. So, not the most armored tanks in the world, but they come with a good complement of guns, and they're all turreted, which is pretty cool. So finally you got some tank destroyers in for the Americans, which is pretty neat. And there are two more. There's a T-28, which is like the T-95 or the T-28 super heavy tank, but it lacks the extra set of tracks around the outside. But it's got a really, really potent gun and tons of armor. It's got like 300 something pen with its gun. So it's really, really, really strong tank. And the T-28 is actually a premium tank, so I don't think you can unlock it. But yeah, the T-95 is pretty neat looking. Try and pen this heavy one, not going to happen. Shot one a little bit too low. Just trying to aim for the little hatch in the front of the hull. Didn't quite work. But I was really impressed with this Normandy map, and I'd really like to play more of it if I get the chance. The only problem is when you're playing in arcade, because it's kind of the mode I like to play, just because I get games fast, and it kind of doesn't matter if people graphics cheating or not. But one of the nicest things about, actually, what was I going to say? No, the same things that still plague the last couple of patches, not even a couple patches, but a few patches in a row now, are well, at the end of this match in particular, I just kept getting bombed by the stupid airplane, the arcade Call of Duty airplane thing that they still have, and they just refuse to really seemingly get rid of. So there's that, and then I found that they've really, really dialed in the artillery too much. I had a game where I died 3 times from artillery, getting hit by artillery over and over and over again. And I don't mind getting killed by artillery, or having it do a little bit of damage to me, but I mean, it's killing me like when it's landing 3 feet or 4 feet away from me, like, and shrapnel coning through the back of my tank. So it's a little bit retarded, and I wish they would kind of dial that back to how it used to be, because it was better before, when it was just kind of like an atmospheric thing, but not much you can really do about it, I don't think. But I don't know if there's too much else to go on with this patch. It's a pretty good patch though. Like you got a bunch of really cool tanks. You got 3 great new maps. I haven't been able to play the other 2, but from the videos that I saw that were released by War Thunder, they look pretty cool. The German Berlin one looks amazing. I really can't wait to play that one. It's kind of like the White Rock Castle, but on steroids. It just looks amazing. Like, they got lots of bespoke models just for that map, and I'm really looking forward to playing it. And this is kind of where my game comes to an end here. Some long repair times, and there's a T-28, and then I had a guy rolling around me from behind as well. So I was pretty much toast. I'm gonna die right about now. See ya. Got killed by a chaffee, and by the time I had spawned again here, my entire team had pretty much managed to use all their tickets and all die. So you'll see when I respawn again that there's virtually no one left on my team except for me. It was like me and an M4 holding the beach, but then everyone else in town was getting killed. And there was a guy in the enemy team that did like 13 kills or something. So, and he was in the M4 with the 105, which is a really potent tank, especially if you're playing against idiots. And I think most of my team fell into the idiot category because he just mopped them up. He just killed them all. And I shot that shot, and I didn't even think I would hit him, but I did actually manage to do that. You can see that they've got a whole bunch of like breakable collision type models for little stands with umbrellas and picnic tables and stuff. Some of the stuff's new. These little low brick walls are new for the Normandy map. And you've got these trees, and I don't know if they count as hedgerows really, but they got, I'm going to call them that. They got these to try and give you some simulated cover, which is pretty nice. I'm just locking my turret. And then I'm going to come around, I'm going to run into this 105. He's the guy who killed pretty much everyone on the enemy team. So, I'm stopping, I'm aiming. Actually, he's not the 105. Oh no, he is the 105. Yes, he is. He puts a shot into me, doesn't do anything, he does track damage. And I'm not going to get to shoot him again, so instead I'm going to shoot the Chaffee. But I don't manage to kill the Chaffee. It looked like it was going to be a good hit. It was pretty flush with the front of him. And then a plane rams into me. And it just, I'm never going to like these planes. I wish they would just get rid of them. Like, if you're going to spawn in as a plane, and then you can get penalized when you crash your plane into a building like a frickin' retard. Because it doesn't make the game fun. But, like to show off those maps, those new tanks. Thanks for watching.